Good morning to all of you. I just spoke to your chancellor on phone, so I'm missing him. Though I think he recalled that we met him and also his father and had a long dialogue on education. Friends, I am very pleased to be in this campus. I have been in Mumbai. I have been, of course, travels to Mumbai several times, but it has been, I think, how I missed coming to this wonderful, well-known, esteemed campus. That's what the word, I think the esteem came here, esteemed campus for esteemed learning. So it's a singular pleasure for me to be with you. And I'm very pleased that I was also wondering, I have known about this university or this campus, that now it is a full-fledged university. It's a great thing. I think it adds to large number of distinguished institutions. And I have seen many of them. I have taught at many of them. I have lectured at many of them. And I have special regard to so many universities now, where I always felt that, and I've been carrying that mission of that science and spirituality must come together. The singular mission I felt that what is missing in Indian education, somebody asked, is that it is that, not all over the world, I'm not talking about only in India. We had a great tradition of this synthesis from the Vedic times, science and spirituality. Look at this, we began this lecture or any auspicious occasion with a prayer. With a prayer to the goddess of knowledge, sometimes Ganesha, sometimes Saraswati. And Saraswati, this tradition of Saraswati, we see in the Saraswati civilizations, but that is much later. It's from the Vedic times. And wonderful prayers, I think. And this is a very distinguishing feature of Indian education system or Indian civilization. This is one of the most ancient civilizations of the world. Rupaji, I think I'm very pleased to see you here. So many distinguished women and men and most importantly our students and teachers. This one. I'm very pleased to see in this wonderful, serene campus, I would say. Very serene and as I walk through. So I'm saying that what we need to know, I feel, and what is not really touched upon so deeply is about our civilization, in our teaching. In our university campuses, we teach many things. So many things, so many subjects, so many aspects of knowledge. But the most distinguished part of this nation, of this civilization, we don't touch upon. I feel that, I think the founders really wanted this to happen. And that's why I learned that kind of thing, that they realized that if you have to really touch upon the civilization, or Sanskriti, the foundation has to be Sanskrit. Not many, of course, Sanskrit is taught. We just had a major Oriental conference in Nagpur, I think major conference where all Sanskrit University vice chancellors were there, and I was there, and that was important. I felt that if I were to start a university, and I've been discussing with your distinguished vice chancellor, that if I were to start some new university, and we are starting many new universities, the foundation must be yoga, foundation must be Sanskrit. So both you are to teach here. Why? Why Sanskrit is the question. Of course, it's one of the most ancient languages, mother to and grandmother to many languages of the world. As William Jones, I think, articulated that kind of thing. The Sanskrit, when he studied Sanskrit, I started to say, he was a student of linguistics, and he felt that Sanskrit is, as he mentioned, grandmother of many languages, mother of many languages, and most of the languages of the world. have stemmed, really stemmed from this grand language that Sanskrit is. I am very happy that in this campus Sanskrit is being taught. And I felt that this one, I made an attempt when I come from computing discipline. I think we were involved, I was involved in, I'm still involved in development of one of the grand supercomputers of the world now, what is called exascale supercomputers, 10 to the power 18 computing operations, mathematical operations per second. That kind of supercomputer we are trying to develop. The world is also trying to develop. US is trying to develop. China, of course, also is developing. And many of the countries, Russia is trying just touching upon that technology development. Why I'm saying this is one of the dreams of this supercomputer is machine translation across languages. Machine translation across languages of the world. We talk in India itself that there are 22 recognized languages right now, which are written in 10 scripts, The world over there are many, many languages, thousands of languages. And the question is, I think, question to the world is, and one of the questions has been, then can the languages be, as I'm speaking to you, I'm engaging in a discourse with you, as I speak to you, you can listen in your mobile or some other way, my speech, machine translated speech in your own language. You just touch upon that. This is a great challenge, and this is a great challenge for computers. Machine translation began long time back. I think long time, when we got independence around that time, we started, I think that challenge was thrown. IBM took that challenge and we're trying to. Same challenge of machine translation was taken by Japan. Japan had a big issue. Japan, of course, was the rise of Japan in terms of, we have seen this one, after the World War II, and then we had the great bomb, the great catastrophe to the world. This one. But Japan has one thing, that Japan was rising, but what they felt, there is a big wall from Japan. That is because their language. Because language in Japan, most now people have started speaking English language, but they wondered that can there be automatic translation? Particularly for of course, their businesses, their commercial, like as they speak in Japanese, which they speak very fluently, then that dialogue or that thing will be translated in English language, and they could talk to anybody in the world. If they could do for English, they could do for many other languages of the world. That was the thing. And in the 1980s, Japan launched a very big project from my computing perspective, those who are, because they from engineering side and this one, computing perspective, that can this machine translation, automatic machine translation be accomplished? And they called it that getting a human-like capabilities to the computers. Getting human-like abilities, which is one of the greatest abilities is the language, speaking language. And that computer was called fifth generation computer system. It was called FGCS, fifth generation computing system, because there are 1, 2, 3, 4, as those who study computers, they know those generations. But can computer be endowed with human-like capabilities? And one of the capabilities was that suppose I speak to you, I understand what you are speaking. Not only so there is a natural language understanding, I understand what you are speaking. Not only that, then I can speak to you, back to you. This capability has been a great challenge for computers. It has not yet been accomplished. It has been accomplished in some limited way so far. You have heard of robotics. They almost can perform any machine-like function automatically. And the robotics have. Similarly, the robots can they be endowed with this kind of abilities? And this will come to what is called artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence is that ability which you must be hearing every time now that you want to teach artificial intelligence. What is artificial intelligence? I think giving intelligence to the machines as I think we perceive in the humans. We are not able to define what intelligence means. Still we are not able to define what intelligence means. In fact, I started writing a book, one of the first books in artificial intelligence in India, not something, and with a German professor. I said, we'll write a book on artificial intelligence. The first question came, how do I define intelligence? before calling it, what is natural intelligence? What does natural intelligence mean? And then there's, like in typical, my co-author was a German professor, very distinguished German professor, and he started making lists of, so let's write what intelligence means. Intelligence means what? This. The big list came, kind of thing, and we said, no, there are so many things which you are not able to say. What human intelligence is, and then how do we write artificial intelligence means. Anyway, we started trying to define, there are many definitions of, I think, artificial intelligence today. But one of the greatest challenge of human today is artificial intelligence, and people believe that this ability, which will transform the world, and is also extremely enabling as it is challenging. With artificial intelligence and robotics, I think our scientists are very scared. I think people are very scared because I think I was asking one of my students, so I'm meeting after a long time, he went to the US, just came back, I said, what are you doing now? He says, my challenge, my company, my enterprise has given me the challenge of replacing myself. That means whatever I do, and your job is to write software piece or that software which will replace me. Most of the things are happening today like that, and people are wondering with the thing which is emerging like this is that driverless cars. I think that is so scary for people that if I attain that kind of ability on Indian roads, I think it can be accomplished some, but that's what is being tried. And we will accomplish this. They know that we will accomplish this. The question is that if some accident occurs, whom will they sue? That is the problem, how the things, all the rules and how they will emerge. And there are many ethical problems and there are many things like that kind of things. So these are the challenges. I think on this campus you will be teaching that. You are already teaching. I think engineering college must be already teaching. Artificial intelligence must be a subject. So artificial intelligence is one subject. Robotics is, of course, you can see the children playing with robots. I think, of course, many of the factories, I must say that I think, I suppose you go to Tata's, and I used to go to Tata, Telco is there in Pune. I think there are so many machines, CNC machines, DNC machines, so many types of machines, and you walk through this kind of thing, people are working on the machines. And there are a large number of people working there. Today, I think there are not many people working there. The entire factory, whatever they produce the cars and the trucks or they create, is generally operated, I would say, then mostly operated by robots, which are not the fact. See, look at the textile mills in Bombay. The city was known for textile mills and the workers and the horns which will come and then everybody will run to the factory. This city was really created for textile industry. Where are the textile mills today? Not here, not in Ahmedabad, not in most of the places there. Today I understand that we are operating the factories in the US from our mobile. The entire factory is operated while you are walking, while you are getting into metros and all those kind of things by Indian operators or Indian engineers from here to in the US factories or anywhere in Europe. This one. So this is a great boon for humanity because almost every operation can be done through artificial intelligence, robotics, IoTs, IoEs, and all those kind of things which are coming from a different world, which I think we will be living today. And we must understand that kind of things. So today I wanted to talk to you that how do I learn these new technologies as they are emerging. I have not studied. When I was doing engineering, I have not heard the word of artificial intelligence. Now, of course, we are listening to some of the words like robotics, bots, and all those things. IoTs now. I never studied IoT. Internet of Things. Internet of everything. The entire connected world. I'll be connected to my body within myself itself. So there are many things which I have not even touched upon. I talked about this artificial intelligence world. How do I teach that world? Many of the things that the teachers will have this challenge today, that what they're asked to teach, they have never studied that. So this has to be a different kind of learning and teaching. You will have to work with students. Students are I think they can pick up They can pick up anything. Young students are. One reason for IT, if you go to the IT industry, one reason for they don't take you if you have, if you say I have 20 years experience, that means they are very clear that I don't want you. If you have long experience, they take only young guys who can learn fast. Their learnability, because the languages are changing. You know how difficult it is to learn a new language, human language itself. So I'm some Marathi speaking person. When I went to Baroda, so I'm I think communicating in Gujarati. I started reading Gujarati. But how difficult it was for me to pick up Gujarati as a language. Of course, English we studied for a long time and then picked up English language. Many of the languages we cannot learn. And that's a big challenge I told about it. Is the supercomputer that we are developing with an enormous ability which can perform 1, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 18 zeros, mathematical operation in 1 second. In 1 second, complex mathematical operations in 1 second. And that's what the supercomputers definitions are today, what they're called exascale or petascale supercomputers. Those kind of computers are required to do simple translation. Simple means 7 standard translation. Still, I'm not sure whether that translation will be really correct or not, because Google is trying to do that. Sometimes and they are doing it now slowly, effectively. But some time back, no supercomputer could translate a 7 standard textbook from English to Japanese or one language. So, and that's why these huge computing powers are required. Sometimes you're wondering, why are we developing such more and complex and supercomputers which require, I think today the computer which we are developing, exascale, it costs 4,500 crores, including the technology development. It requires that kind of thing. Why do we require that? Question comes, why do we require that kind of thing? Because even a simple operation like this can be. Now, one more thing which has come is not only just artificial intelligence, but also artificial emotions, which we never thought. Sometime back, we never thought that computers will understand emotions. And that's what people said. Well, what the humans can do, but computers will never be able to do, will be the emotions kind of thing. And because we live in emotions, Most of our thinking is the operations or whatever thing. You get angry, you get this one, you can start laughing, you can so on. This computers will not be able to do. Today, this is a myth that computers started understanding your emotions. They will respond to your images, they will read your face, which is not so difficult now, but also respond to that. Why are you feeling depressed? Why this kind of thing? Shall I tell you a joke? Shall I narrate it? Shall I sing for you? Whatever thing. What? So this is the new world we are in. Artificial intelligence and artificial emotions. Artificial action we are doing through robots any way. So the world which are coming, which we'll see on the campus, and what we see that most people today see one of the more wonder developments is our mobile phone. We never thought. Today's mobile phone. I remember the first supercomputer that we developed in 1990. This was the first supercomputer which used to perform 1 billion operations, mathematical operations per second. At that time, it was a big wonder. I never thought a day will come in my own life that I will be carrying a computer of this and more capability in my pocket. That's my mobile. Mobile exceeds that computing power. This amazement, and everybody today, women, men, girls, boys, village girls, everybody, and that is now being designed. Most of the mobile phones are designed by Indians. Most of the design, I'm not taking the manufacturing has come now. I think you see that we have started manufacturing the Google, the Samsungs, and of course Apples, and many other things are manufactured in India, and that kind of things. And we are going beyond that kind of things. So this is the way the new technologies are being developed. What impact they have? They have enormous impact, which we even cannot. I think we know that impact is taking place, but you are not even aware. The awareness of how the mobile has changed, or how the telephone has changed the life, how television has changed life, how computer came, the microprocessor came in 1971, how it changed the life, and then we went to very powerful computers, supercomputers, artificial intelligence computers. Today we are developing AI computers, more artificial intelligence computers, which are designed to understand human communication and human abilities, this kind of thing. So these are, I think, for the first students which will understand it. We must, I think, able to master these technologies in a very short time. Like engineering. When I was studying engineering in Nagpur, I remember there were hardly one or two engineering colleges, a few in that part of the world. I'm thinking in Maharashtra. Very few engineering colleges used to be there. Today, we have the largest number of engineering colleges in the world. That's one day. I remember the word of Bill Gates. He was making a congressional statement to the Congress. I think they were making the economy. And even he had just visited India. He said, watch out, I tell you this one thing. India and China is going to eat American lunch. That's what the typical way they want to say. Because they had only 70 engineering colleges at that time, total, in that across the North America, and India has very soon will have 700 engineering colleges. Watch out, both China and Canada. They will produce the number of engineers. I think you are from engineering college here, Canada, that you can never imagine. Today, I think India is producing how many engineers? How many engineers India produces? So many, you can't even count. 16 lakh engineers we are producing per year. What to do with them? The question comes now. So many branches of engineering. Engineering, including bioengineering, including mine engineering, we are talking about so many branches which you cannot even imagine. I think Gitaji, you think language, how difficult it is, what a great challenge it is. You can see that now there is no supercomputer, no technology can still master it, and you are teaching it. That shows how intelligent humans are, and that also shows the challenge of translations and challenge of many things, understanding. What I wanted to tell was that the challenge now is how do I learn these new subjects, particularly the word which came, Internet of Things. And I talked to Saurabh, my student and my disciple or whatever. How do I teach? And this learning, this teaching must begin at very young age. Very young age, you must teach this in our schools. He said, no, not in engineering colleges. All these new disciplines must begin in schools. One of the challenges which came to us, I remember this was the challenge which I heard from the Prime Minister's office. He said that now, they said that our students must be innovative. I remember Smriti Irani, she was the education minister and I was the IIT Delhi chairman. And she was I was sitting next to her, and all IIT chairmen and the directors were sitting. He said, what is the great challenge for education? She asked me. She knew me. So Vijay, what is the great challenge for education? I said, spontaneously I can see that our education has been so far, for several years, for long years, entirely based on exam basis. Starts for the parents' education, exam for children, their wards, admission to the pre-KG or whatever. There it goes on till now you have this one, exams, rote learning. And we have done very well. On that kind of thing, we have done very well. We see our students scoring. I think there are colleges or there are schools which they score, I think almost 99% people will get 100% marks. 100 plus. So we have done very well, and that's why our students go anywhere all over the world and this kind of thing. But our students are not creative. That is the problem. That when it comes to car repair, they are not able to do it. They will be great engineers or mechanical engineers or automobile engineers. There are many things which we cannot do. We cannot wire the home. We know everything, all theorems and everything, electrical engineering, electronics, so we are not creative people. So one thing which we said, that we must teach creativity to our students. They must be creative problem solver. So innovation must become, the new thinking creation must become really the byword or the foundation of our education. And then what do we do? So one of the things which was emerging at that time was called tinkering labs. The one first tinkering lab came in IIT Bombay, just it came in. And many, of course, European universities teach the tinkering lab. How to create new things, how to create new innovations. If you don't create an innovation, new idea you don't create, you will be completely out of business. Look at your mobile phone. Every 3 months a new edition will come, which are if you don't have that edition, whatever it may be, your turnover may be something hundreds of crores, it is gone. We have seen this Nokia's mobile was so popular across the world. Finland entire economy will run, but they didn't have what emerged came from Apple or somebody else. They went out of business. But our children, if they are not able to, engineering college particularly, they are not able to create new things, and I think at the speed which we are creating, you will be completely run out of business. That's why China mastered that. New innovation creation, they were nowhere there. They were just copying. They would do something manufacturing. But they decided to master that whole thing at a young age, and you see where China is now. Where Korea is, Samsung-like thing. You will not believe that. I was in Trivandrum, and these Koreans came to me, and I was running a laboratory, fairly big laboratory, one of the biggest labs, CDP and ERNDC, Electronic Research Center. And they came to me, and what for? To design new color televisions, which we had done before them. And they want to know, how are you doing it, like this kind of things? And of course, we were greatly thrilled with that. But we didn't know that the day will come when then Koreans, when they are learning from us, they will go so ahead that they will beat Japan, including Sony, and they will beat, of course, everybody in the US and everybody in Europe because of new innovation creation. Completely takes over the entire market. This is for the cars. As the new car comes, Kia has come, so some new car has come, and you don't know whether Tata's will exist or this one will exist or this one. But you must be able to create new things on the fly. And that's why innovation must be the foundation of education. This is not only true for engineering and technology. This is true for everything. This is true for arts. This is true for poetry. Today, computers also can create poetry. People don't believe they can create great poetry. I don't know, Gitaji will believe or not. They can write articles, and they can create a new song. They can do that kind of thing which was not thought earlier because of the wonder of artificial intelligence what they create. And you cannot distinguish whether it is created by a man or a human or a machine. You cannot. This article is written by something. Of course, there are final things which you will say, but these are the challenges of today. Now, this will have deep impact on education. How do we teach this thing? How do we teach technologies? How do I teach nothing? What language means? What is poetry? What is new poetry? What is newness? All those things which are emerging, and I think these are the challenges of every education or universities we will have now. The psychology issue. One thing on one side, you have seen that we are implanting so many devices within our body. Of course, when there is accident, then I can put some rods, I can put this traveling, there is a pacemaker, there are so many your bodies, the parts, if you accident and anything, you put in the body and you don't know. That is still. But not only that, you can be able to integrate now with the flesh, with the machine. Integrate. That was not possible earlier, but now it is becoming hard, of course, we are trying to do that kind of thing. But there are many things which are emerging, which are unbelievable. Whether you are a part of the machine or you are the machine is a part of human, this is the question which is emerging. Things like that. And we are working on those technologies. How to teach that thing like that. The biotechnology and the convergence that I'm seeing, what I'm talking is that there is a nanotechnology, there is a biotechnology, there is a cognotechnology, there is a information technology. All these are working, this convergence together. We don't know whether you are thinking or the machine is, your brain is thinking. You know who is thinking. What is this kind of thing? So there are very ethical questions, there are very psychological questions which are emerging, which we'll have to teach on today's campus. And these innovations will come in hostels. The innovations now don't come in labs. Innovation comes in labs, of course, but innovation sometimes, most of the time, they are seen through the interaction on the campuses or the canteens and this one kind of thing, hostels. Most of the startups are coming today in IIT Delhi. I'm saying the startups are coming, 40 startups on the hostels. They say we don't require your labs and all this kind of thing. We have everything. This one, and this is done there. So even how to run your campuses is the issue. How to run, what kind of things, whether you require teachers, whether teachers are working or this kind of thing. I think many times, so when we are talking Saurav, whether Saurav is teaching me or I am teaching him, I have a question. Because he will learn faster than me. He'll pick up faster, he'll pick up a language faster, and this kind of thing. How will I teach him? I have not heard of that language, which is writing a program with. So I pose many challenges of this kind. And what I say, the word science, STEM learning. STEM learning was the foundation of learning in a to the STEAM learning that created like a great institution like that. I'm from MIT, I'm from Stanford, which we say esteemed institution. This campus is called an esteemed institution compared to most of the colleges or most of the universities here. So how do I go from there? Of course, STEM is science, technology, engineering, medicine, sometimes mathematics, STEM learning, STEAM learning. And everything I have to teach. Now I'm not teaching in classrooms. I have to teach on my mobile. Everything is happening there. New development is coming. First thing comes on my mobile, through my internet. If I want to learn something, because that is not there anywhere. There is no books available right now. There are no things, but it is there. I just look and I have to teach. I have to give a lecture. I know that I stay on the net, and then I'm teaching. I'm communicating with you at that speed. That is what Bill Gates talked about. Doing business at the speed of thought. Thought itself is the speed in which you require to communicate, to learn new things. Otherwise, you are just more. You have nothing to offer. In the sense, I'm saying you have nothing to offer. In the sense, already the things have changed by that time. So, in this world which is emerging, which is very fascinating, which is brave, but also very scary. One of the challenges which has come now is that the way everybody is talking about in India is very scary. Will there be any jobs? Because the machines are going ahead of humans in terms of manufacturing, in terms of doing things like this kind of thing, in terms of doing the actions which are required. You don't require people. And the greatest challenge there is, of course, you are driving the cars on the roads. So the scary people are wondering, like Stephen Hawking, the great thinkers, the knowledge, that this is the greatest scare human race should have. Because then what will the young generation do? What will people do? You have everything. You have prosperity of different kind, but you have no jobs. Sometimes we wonder for the teachers, there are no job for teachers. They're coming here and teaching something which you don't know. So this is the human challenges of the race now, which are coming before us. And of course we are teaching art. Everywhere you go, that artificial intelligence must be a subject which must be taught. Sometimes a language teacher is a machine which is teaching you, and which will do very, very well for things. Particularly when emotions come in, we don't know what would happen. You must have seen a lot of robots which so well interact with you better than sometimes humans. People say that humans have lost emotions. Humans have lost. Now only machines can save us, like that. So the world that we are entering is of very different, and this STEM learning to STEM, because STEM learning is very popular now. Is ever since Bill Gates, Obama came to give a parliamentary lecture. He said that India and China are now going way ahead in STEM learning, the science, technology, engineering, and medicine or mathematics learning. and we must go ahead with them. So that's why he went back and said the great initiative of STEM learning, STEM, and everybody started talking of STEM learning, thing like that. And now we have to go by there. But this will be taught in electronic medium. So electronically, it comes ST, and then we have to add environment issue. Now, as the issue that the major challenge for the entire human race is the environmental problems that machines have created, and humans and machines together have created for the world. The question has come is that whether the humans will survive in this century. The question has come now, this interaction comes, that we have come to this level of climate change. The climate change is so scary on 1 degree, 2 degree temperature changes or variations, etc. It's kind of thing. If it is so scary, people have different scenarios. The question before is, and what the President of Royal Society of London, he talked about that this is the last century for humans. They say that this is the last century for humans because of the climate change. So people must be made aware of environment. Whatever the action I'm doing, it must be what is the impact on environment? We never care for that. Earlier we never cared for it. Now environmental impact must be assessed, and how do I mitigate that change? How do I mitigate that change? I don't know. I have no solution. Suppose I will talk to environmentalists. If this happens, if suppose Bombay, the sea level increases by some 2 centimeters, so it's a very small change which will happen. That the city will start submerging, and I have no solution. Why it has happened? Because of engineering, technology, mathematics, and use, and its impact on the environment. I have no solution. So the solution which I am offering is prayers, doing some homa, like that. Maybe they have solution. But this all yajnas were done. Yajnas were done for balancing the environment, and how they do. And people are doing some research in that direction. You will also know there was yajna here and many things which were done, engineering and technology has no solution. I am engineer, I am technologist, I work on frontiers of this one. I have no solution to offer on these things. This will go beyond that. How do we do that? That's why we are searching. That's why science and spirituality has to come together. Because I have not talked about spirituality, what does it mean, but this one, they must synthesize together. And that's what our ancient Gurukul system was, or the people thought. Both must work together. I require spiritual, environmental. What is spirituality? I think I don't have time to speak about how much time we have got now.
You can
or already crossed.
10 minutes, 10 minutes.
Already crossed.
That's all right. 10 more minutes.
So that's some of the time. I will talk about this. Why this? And so when I was trying to design a architecture of a new university, I was talking that we must simultaneously teach both science and spirituality. Spirituality, science at the level of understanding quantum mechanics. We don't teach quantum mechanics. Quantum mechanics is the foundation of science. You will know now that we don't teach that. We only standard conventional physics, chemistry. But as we know, as we go ahead, we'll know that quantum mechanics is the foundation of the science it begins. Whatever we have learned is way beyond that. It is not another thing. And spirituality means who learns? Trying to go there. Who is learning? Who is asking this question? To understand that is spiritual thing. You are going to spiritual disciplines of understanding. Athato Brahma Jidnyasa. That is it. Now let us see what is the thing I am saying. Why do I feel? Why these emotions are coming and devastating me like these things like that? Understanding those issues, things like that. What is mine? What is the purpose of my life? These are spiritual questions. You will wonder why I am studying all this? Why I am doing this? Why I feel depressed? Why this kind of thing? The question, going to the fundamental questions, is understanding the fundamental questions of spirituality. So you have to study both together. You have to study both. You have to teach both together. If you are not teaching, you are giving incomplete education, and half knowledge is dangerous. Why this situation has come? Because of half knowledge that we have got. Why this question has come? Question comes. So far it has not come. We are living nicely. Suddenly wonder whether we will exist or not. Because we are not tackled it holistically. We have not understood this whole thing holistically. And these are the questions. These are the questions Vedas asked. These are the questions modern science is asking. Friends, our education has to be really much elevated now, STEAM, more things like that kind of things. And then, of course, we have to talk about new paths, new walkways before us, and teach new things. Have total different understanding of life. First, the question is that why I'm here, what is the purpose of my life, where I am going, what are these things, the nature of this universe itself. And the universe is universalization of mind. Is it occurring in my campus? University is for universalization of mind. Is this occurring on my campus? I can't say yes or no, this kind of thing. So these, I think the campuses are going to be a great challenge. And this is one of the first universities were created in India, way back. World's first university called Takshashila, near Rawalpindi now, this kind of thing is not there, exists, but it was created, where some of the great innovations really occurred first time. Great grand teachers who totally gave a new meanings to what I'm asking you, understanding of what we're talking about, including Chanakya, including Ayurveda, including many, many things, disciplines which are created in that university. Takshashila, we have to create the Takshashilas of yesteryears. We have to create Nalanda, which I'm talking about. That one Nalanda University has impacted, that is Buddhist thinking, through Buddhist thinking, has impacted the world like never before. The students and teachers impacted the entire world. There, what they taught. So we have to create the Nalandas and Takshashilas and the Vikramshilas and those universities of space. So I'm very happy the founders have taken the disciplines that they want to teach us Sanskrit, they want to teach us Prakrit, they want to teach us Pali and other languages, and of course the humanities, subjects of humanities, the purpose of life itself. So I think this foundation, this university has a great foundation. I no doubt that founders of this kind of thing, that they had some ideas of this kind of thing. And this must be created in today's context. It must be created not yesterday's context, but today's context. I must speak Sanskrit as well as I must speak great English. I must speak Italian or maybe Chinese simultaneously. And it is possible. Humans have that those abilities to do that kind of thing. As emotions come, I don't know what will happen. I will be crying on the shoulders of a robo. I don't know, this kind of things. Humans have lost many of the abilities, like emotions. So I would come several years later and hope that these disciplines will be taught here. And this will be great University of India, which I'm sure because it has foundations, it is going in that direction. Kind of things. I wish you all the best. Thank you, sir, for inviting me on this campus. And